Hi everyone, this is Christine. It is February 17, 2015. It's in the evening, and I want to share a dream with you that I had last night. There was a man. It was me and a man. We were in a room, and it's gonna sound really strange, but he turned into a table, like a scaffold. Okay, so this is me standing, this is him standing, and what he did was he bent over and he became a table. And then what I ended up doing was standing on top of him, on top of this table, and there were railings here so I couldn't fall off of it. And then the table just rose up. Do you remember antennas on older cars or even on radios? They're those metal ones, and when you pull them up, they're in sections. There's like a big section, and then another section pulls up, and then another section pulls up, and another one, until the skinniest part, and then there's usually some kind of a round knob on top. But the antenna is tucked inside of itself, but it just grows, it gets bigger and longer and longer. That's kind of what happened here. He bent over, and his back became a table. These are his legs, and his back became a table. And when I stood on here, it was like a platform, and his legs were like that antenna. They actually got longer, and I was standing on top of the table, but I could see the floor, and I could see that we were going up, 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 kind of like a scaffolding, or like one of those window washers, or like a painter, somebody who is standing on a board and he's just going up, 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 up. Well, that's what happened here, and it was this guy's legs that were going up and making him taller. His back was still parallel to the floor, and I was standing up here, and his legs just got taller and taller and taller and longer. And as the board, or the floor here, his back, as we went up, I could see us getting farther and farther away from the ground. And when I got to the top, because his feet were still on the ground, but when the platform reached the top, I was just standing up there, and I had a good overview of everything, but I didn't say anything. I didn't, it wasn't like I was up there preaching or teaching or anything like that. And then I came back down. His legs got shorter and shorter, just like that antenna, that car antenna or radio antenna I was talking about. It just kind of got shorter and shorter and shorter, and then eventually his legs became the size of regular man's legs. And then I jumped off of his back, which was actually a platform, and then he ended up standing up straight again. So he and I were both standing up straight like two human beings. And then I looked at him, and I actually saw his face, and I looked at his eyes, and his face, he had like a 5 o'clock shadow, and it was a little bit like salt and pepper hair, like a beard and mustache, but it wasn't grown out. It was, like I was saying, it was kind of growing in, but it wasn't like a full beard or anything like that. But he had like a beard and mustache, growing in, salt and pepper hair, and I was standing in front of him. He was a little bit taller than me. I was looking at his eyes, and the only thing I could feel was just like he was present with me 150%. Neither of us said anything verbally to each other, but I just felt like he was totally and completely there for me and with me. He wasn't just standing there, with his mind thinking about what he's got to do next, how human beings do that. He was just completely and totally there with me, and I just saw it. I mean, it was like palatable. I could feel it. I just saw the love in him and coming out of him, and it just felt like he was completely 150% there, present with me. And I went to kiss him on the lips, and he let me. It was just, nothing like sexual or nothing like that. Just, and he let me, but I again felt complete love from him. And it was like whatever I wanted or whatever I needed from him, it was like that's what he was living for. He just lived for me to want and need and desire things from him. He was just there completely to make me happy, sort of. And like I was saying, it was almost palatable. I could feel it, like the energy coming from him. And then I went to kiss him on the side of the cheek and then on the other side of the cheek. And he just willingly gave himself up and let me do it. He was happy, and he just wanted to radiate love and give love to me. That's really all he wanted to do, was just give love to me. And the love was in him. It was something that I'd never experienced before or felt before. Certainly not in a human being. But I haven't felt this like in a dream before either. And that's what this was a dream that I had last night. So I ended up waking up. Oh yeah. John Paul Gibson. I have no idea, but I'm not sure about the John part, but I am sure about the Paul, and I am sure about the Gibson. There's something about the words Paul Gibson, John Paul Gibson. That was the name that came to me in the dream. I don't know if that was his name, but that's the name that came to me in my dream, and it stuck with me in my dream long enough for me to remember it. And this is the evening. I had the dream last night, this morning, so it stuck with me. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what all that means, but I just figured I'd share it. And by the way, my previous video about the alligators, God showed me today what it means. I'm not going to share it, but I figured it out, so I know what it means. And the other thing, I was feeling kind of stressed today. I was actually feeling really good, but somebody kind of threw a monkey wrench into something in my life today, and it kind of knocked me off kilter, made me a little bit stressful. And I went to the grocery store afterwards, and I only had like a few items, so I was going to go through that, quick, the checkout line, 20 items or less. And this lady had a shopping cart, probably about 20 items in there, and she looked at me and she said, "You know what, you go ahead," and she let me go ahead of her, and I thought that was very kind of her. And she was just really sweet, and I felt like that was God kind of being nice to me through her, because I was there stressed, from this monkey wrench that had just been thrown into my life, like not even an hour before. And then I walked out to the car. I thanked her also, for letting me go in line before her. I thanked her for that. And then I walked out to my car, got in the car, turned on the radio, and I was driving home, and the song Don't You Worry, Child, see, heaven's got a plan for you, came on the radio. And I felt like it was the Lord again. And he was telling me, I know you're stressed because of this monkey wrench that just got thrown into your life, but don't worry, child. Heaven's got a plan for you. And I just felt like whatever had happened earlier with the monkey wrench, that it was going to be okay. That God was speaking to me through that song, and that he had shown me love through that woman who let me go ahead of her in the line. And I didn't even ask her. She just saw me and volunteered, and she had a big smile on her face. Big smile on her face. So yeah, I left the store feeling pretty good, like it was going to be okay. And then I ended up talking to my sister about the monkey wrench thing, and we got it sorted out, and everything is figure-outable. A lady said that yesterday. She said that her mom always used to say that it was her mom's favorite word. Everything is figure-outable, meaning you can figure it out. And I talked to my sister. I got everything figured out, so I think I'm on a better path, and the monkey wrench seems to be going away. I'm not going to be going down that road. So I just wanted to share that with everyone, and I hope you're all doing well and having a great day and a good evening, because it is evening here now. So take care, and God bless, and I'll talk to you all later, okay? Bye-bye. Take care.